Do you find yourself having trouble feeling organized, creating priorities, starting work, staying focused? Those executive functions are a challenge for many of us, and we can develop strategies to strengthen our executive functions during these uncertain times. Today, the AEO explores executive functioning.
What's brewing at the AEO?
Hey everyone, my name is Matthew Muller, and I'm a Moorhead academic coach with the Office for Accessibility and Educational Opportunity. Today, we're going to be talking about executive functioning in the context of how to best use your summer vacation. We'll explore what executive functioning is, why it matters, and how you can strengthen your own executive functioning to have a successful and productive summer. This is the third video of our series, so let's review what we covered in the first two videos. In our motivation video, Ethan shared some important information on how to get and stay motivated. In our goal setting video, Haley gave us two great strategies to set goals and offered us ideas to make our goals more manageable. While it isn't required, we do recommend watching those first two videos first. We'll use them as a framework to discuss executive functioning in our daily lives. Let's talk about executive functioning in the brain. Russell A. Barkley, a leader in ADHD and executive functioning, defines executive functioning as the use of self-directed actions so as to choose goals and to select, enact, and sustain actions across time toward those goals, usually in the context of others. We can simplify this by defining it as using cognitive skills to decide how you will focus your energy and the means to reach your goals. The goals you select are based upon your subjective values, influenced by personality and your environment. Since the 19th century, we've known that executive functioning is localized primarily in the frontal lobe, specifically the prefrontal cortex. There are other areas of the brain involved, including the amygdala and the hippocampus. And while the neurology of executive functioning is fascinating, we'll be focusing today on its applications in your life. Throughout childhood into early adulthood, your executive functions develop. As a child, for example, you are able to perform basic self-care and one-step math problems. As you move through school and continue to develop into adulthood, you're able to handle more complex cognitive tasks. Executive functioning will develop into your 20s and early 30s. For those of us with learning and attention disabilities, mental health concerns, and chronic health illnesses, we might struggle with executive functioning throughout our lives. Executive functioning matters because it helps us to organize our lives and regulate ourselves. These two umbrella terms, organization and regulation, describe the various cognitive functions that we use on a daily basis. Thomas Brown, in the psychology department at Yale, names 6 executive functions: activation, focus, effort, emotion, memory, and action. Each of these cognitive tasks is essential for working towards any goal, short-term, long-term, and anything in between. If you want to see which executive functions are your strongest and which you need to strengthen, check out the link below for an executive functioning assessment. Once you know which executive functions you need to develop further, you can start to explore various tools and strategies to help you. Some of these might work for you, some of these might not. You might have heard of some of these. Others might be brand new. If you have any questions about using these, or if you'd like some help integrating them into your life, reach out to us. Before you can do any work, you should consider how you can best organize your physical space and your headspace. There are a number of ways to organize your life, including to-do lists, planners, calendars, both digital and on paper. Consider if the convenience of a digital planner could help, or if keeping your plans off your phone and computer makes more sense. Integrate these into your daily routine. When will you fill it out? Every day? At the beginning of the week? How often will you review it? Right before going to bed? First thing in the morning? Throughout the day? Planning means time management too. When do you work best? I know I have to front load the most cognitively taxing activities to first thing in the morning. You might be different. Investigate when you work at your best and use this knowledge to determine when you should work on different tasks. I bet there are certain parts of the day where reading or answering emails is easier for you. Should you set a few goals for the day, like a knockout list? Or should you block out your day in hour chunks on your Google Calendar? One of the most challenging aspects of working at anything is getting started. We know that once you're in a flow state, tasks become easier to finish. To get started, consider ways to lower the barrier for entry. That might mean downloading our readings for the week and keeping them in a folder on our desktop. That might mean bookmarking Duolingo or LinkedIn Learning so it's right at your fingertips. Perhaps you need some external motivation. Schedule a time to work in a workspace, virtual or not, with a friend or a family member. If nothing else, you should tell a friend or a family member for some added accountability. Break down tasks into smaller pieces. Every time you check something off your to-do list, you release dopamine, which builds your motivation to keep going. Most of us can't stay focused for really long periods of time. My upper limit is probably 20 to 30 minutes depending upon the activity. Yours might be longer or shorter. Time yourself to learn about yours. Once you know what the upper limit is, use the Pomodoro method to set up a work session with short periods of focus and frequent breaks. Create an environment that facilitates your learning and productivity. It's okay to block websites. It's okay to close your door. It's okay to put your phone in another room. There are some lifestyle changes that can help too. Exercise has been shown to increase focus and other executive functions. Eating green vegetables helps too. Also, make sure you're getting quality sleep, not just the amount of sleep, but also your sleep hygiene. So let's see how some small changes can make a big difference for students making plans for the summer. Brianna is currently taking an online course and has a remote internship through a Vassar micro internship. She's feeling overwhelmed with her responsibilities for both her online course and her remote internship. She's feeling nervous that the online course is condensed into 6 weeks. She discovered that her to-do list was way too long, and it made her feel really overwhelmed. Brianna began using the assignment breakdown planner to plan out her more significant assignments throughout the summer. She then used a master calendar to create soft deadlines for herself. And most importantly, she created a routine for her day that added some structure, and she started to think about how she could structure her work sessions to align to her needs. She started taking frequent breaks and setting one specific small goal for each work session. Dylan doesn't have any formal plans for the summer. After taking some time to restore after a challenging semester, he isn't sure how he could spend the summer, but he knows he wants to improve himself in some way. He made a list of goals: get involved in his community, learn to code, learn to cook, and exercise. He decided he could learn how to code and exercise to start. Instead of thinking just about the endpoint, in other words, the goal, he thought about the process. He used the SMART goal strategy to make very specific goals. He also could have used the MTO goal strategy we learned in the last video. He made a commitment to making a consistent routine, including regular wake-up and bedtimes. Dylan worried about not having structure in his day, so the routine helped, along with making changes to his environment. He created a space in his home to exercise, found a coding website to use, and told a friend about his goals to feel accountability. For both Brianna and Dylan, it was important for them to look both at the big picture and think about the small details. When you work towards goals, it's not just the what, it's also the when, the where, and the how. So here are some takeaways from today. Executive functioning develops over time, and some days might be better than others. Creating routine and setting goals are two great ways to add structure to your days and make you feel productive and more capable. There are a number of different strategies, resources, and tools you can use to develop executive functioning skills. The summer is a great time to explore how you can strengthen your executive functioning. All right, everybody. This wraps up our 3-part video series to get you ready to use your summer vacation productively. Remember to reflect on your needs and make strong goals this summer. See you in the fall.